Good morning and welcome to the 2020 SNAP E&T National Forum hosted by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. My name is Jessica Shaheen and I am the Associate Administrator for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program at USDA's Food and Nutrition Service. You know it as SNAP. I am coming to you live today from Arlington, Virginia for this first of its kind conference. I want to thank you for joining us today as we kick off a very special 3-day virtual event. We are joined by 1,500 stakeholders from all across the country. You represent state and federal agencies, industry, workforce development organizations, community colleges, nonprofits, the research community, and other important partners. Thank you for your enthusiasm about SNAP E&T and your dedication to help SNAP participants move forward on a path to employment and economic independence. We are thrilled to have you with us. Our program for the E&T National Forum is designed to help you share with one another and learn best practices for promoting and increasing employment among SNAP households through state E&T programs. I think you will find that the agenda has a little something for everyone. To kick us off, I am very pleased to introduce an individual who has a deep passion for SNAP E&T and who has been very personally involved in making this event happen here today. You guessed it, I'm talking about Brandon Lips, my boss. Currently, he serves as the Deputy Undersecretary for the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food, Nutrition, and Consumer Services Mission Area. Prior to this, he served as Administrator of the Food and Nutrition Service and also acted in his current role from 2017 until 2019. We were lucky when Brandon joined USDA. He has led and inspired this agency to deliver programs through human-centered design with a focus on moving families forward. Brandon believes all F&S programs can be delivered in a manner that helps families be better off tomorrow than they are today. He has a passion for accomplishing that mission, one family at a time. Prior to his service at USDA, Lips worked both in and out of government, serving on leadership teams for organizations with more than 20,000 employees, practicing commercial and agricultural law, and providing both legal and policy advice at the state and federal level on natural resources and anti-poverty policy. Brandon graduated from Texas Tech with a bachelor's degree in agriculture economics and earned his law degree from Texas Tech University School of Law. Please don't hold it against him. And now I would like to welcome my boss, my colleague, and my friend, Brandon Lips.
Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate all of that opening except for that last part. But because we're on a positive message today, I'm just going to move right past it. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for being here or wherever you are around the country. We are sad that we can't be with you in person today, but we are thankful for the hard work of the wonderful team at the Food and Nutrition Service, particularly our Office of Employment and Training, who has worked very hard with our contractor friends to pull off a conference that I think you're going to be very excited to be a part of. Welcome, and please be excited for what's to come today. I am excited, Jessica, that we have over 1,500 people registered for this conference. This is something to get excited about when we talk about the way that we can serve people. Thanks again to our team for their hard work, Jessica, for your leadership, and for most of that introduction. Folks, we have a momentous opportunity this week, ultimately to be dealers of hope for the families that we serve at the Food and Nutrition Service, and particularly in our Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. A few of you know what I mean when I say that, but all of you don't. If you'll stick around for today's plenary session, I'll be happy to talk to you more about that. For any of you who may be new to the Food and Nutrition Service or to the SNAP program, it is the nation's largest nutrition assistance program, serving tens of millions of Americans across the country. SNAP E&T is a part of that program that provides our families a path to economic independence and the opportunity to experience the dignity of work that you and I get to experience every day as we get to work with wonderful colleagues. I know that I'm preaching to the choir for many of you when I say that E&T should not be an afterthought for the SNAP program. That actually came from my colleague, Jessica Shaheen. Just before the pandemic hit, we had an offsite to talk about how we can better serve families through employment and training. And we talked about how we can make that work in our program. And Jessica said to us, we shouldn't talk about E&T as a separate program, but as an integral part of the everyday administration of the SNAP program. And that's what we're here to talk about this week. As a matter of fact, my boss, Secretary Sonny Perdue, charged me early on when I started in this role a little more than 3 years ago to say, I want you to think about how you can better serve the families that you serve in the food and nutrition service, ensuring that you are moving those families forward every day. So I have charged my team. I say, when you show up at work every day, you need to ask yourself, what can I do today in administering these programs that will ensure that the families we serve are in some way better off tomorrow than they are today? And Jessica, when we leave the office every day to say, what have we done today to ensure that the families we serve are better off tomorrow than they were today? We take the Secretary's charge on that front seriously, and we're working to carry that out. That's part of what this conference is. We all have the ability to inspire hope in those we serve and help them move forward each and every day. One of the best parts of my job, I haven't got to do as much lately, but is traveling across this great country and seeing the amazing work that our state and local partners are doing in serving the families that we serve at the Food and Nutrition Service and helping move them forward. The best partners always focus on an individual's abilities, not their inabilities. Sure, we all have challenges. Some of us make fun of each other, but we all figure out a way to move forward. Some of us have particular challenges in being able to work, but we have opportunities to overcome those. And through our state and local partners, we're helping more families overcome their challenges and be on a pathway to experiencing the great dignity of work. When I started this role, one of the first E&T sites that I visited was Goodwill of North Georgia. A couple of stories stand out in my mind from that day. I walked into a room and there was a group of young ladies trying to drive a 2-inch nail into a 2x4. If any of you have ever tried to do that, you know it's a difficult task, even for those of us who might consider ourselves to be fairly handy with a hammer. But I didn't see frustration on the faces of those young ladies. I saw hope. So I asked those young ladies, Jessica had shared with me the hope that this program provides, but I hadn't experienced it myself. I asked those young ladies, talk to me about why you're not experiencing frustration. What is this hope that you have? One of the young ladies stepped forward and said, I have 3 children at home who I want to give a better life to, who I want to show a good work ethic, who I want to inspire hope in so that they know that there's a better path for them moving forward. That's what this program and this conference are about. We left that room and we went over to another room, and they had a group of individuals who had graduated from the programs that Goodwill of North Georgia provide to them. And there was a 74-year young lady there, and she told us this story. She was living with her son and daughter-in-law, and in her words, was bumming off of them for quite some time. She'd been down on her luck. She needed that helping hand. But she said she woke up one day, somebody told her about the opportunities offered through that Goodwill in partnership with our SNAP Employment and Training Program, and she realized that she could have a different life, that hope was hers to seize. She went through the culinary training program and was at that time a chef at a local restaurant. Then she said she was not only able to provide for herself, but to now buy presents for her grandchildren. Those are the stories we're talking about today, Jessica. We all have stories. Our participants have stories. We need to seize those stories and share them with others so that we can inspire hope. That's what we're focused on at USDA. So you say, well, why are we here? We're here for that very purpose. Providing Americans access to nutritious food every day is a large and difficult mission, but it's one that my team is committed so greatly to each and every day. Helping those families move forward is even more challenging. It takes not just federal employees and state employees, it takes local partners. Jessica's going to talk about all the different types of partners we have, from community colleges to nonprofits, faith-based organizations. They have to be willing to spend the time on a local level, the effort, the energy, the resources, to meet our families where they are, to assess their abilities, to give them a path forward, to hold their hand as they walk that path, and to help them experience the hope that so many of us have experienced. This week's sessions, I'm so excited to say, have inspired hope in me, and they will inspire hope in each of you. I hope that you will tune in to all of them. And our wonderful team at the Food and Nutrition Service has worked so hard on this conference for a very long time to put together sessions that will tell you how to identify best practices. We will share those with you, and we will help you replicate those as you want to serve people around this country. It does take all of us. It's not any one of us. It's not just the federal level. It's not just the state. It's not just our local partners. It's all of us together that make this happen. Later today in our plenary session, you will hear about One Workforce, an initiative of the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Labor, and the Department of USDA, talking about this very concept of how we can all work together to better serve our families. In short, there shouldn't be a wrong door for one of our participants to walk in to access employment and training services. Not every site is right for every individual, but they shouldn't walk into a door and be rejected. And at the highest level of government, the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Labor, and the Department of USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture, are committed to making sure that we're serving American families as one workforce. We'll provide you more on that this afternoon. After all, we are focused on moving families forward. I know that each of you are here, all 1,500 of you, because you're focused on that mission. Some of you are here to share your great successes. As a matter of fact, Jessica, I've heard story after story of states and their partners who have pivoted during this difficult time from providing their training in person to providing it online, and in some cases are serving more individuals all the way through to graduation and employment. There is always a way to better serve folks. There are so many promising approaches that inspire us to what we do. I want to thank each and every one of our providers for their hard work and dedication, and I want to thank each of you that are at this conference today to learn how you can participate in helping families move forward. I want to leave you with this. Hope is not a wish. Hope is a pathway forward. When we talk about providing hope to our SNAP families, we want to make sure that we're providing them a pathway to success. I'm committed to being a dealer of hope. I know that Jessica is. I know our entire team is, and we ask all of you to join us in that mission during this week's conference. With that, I'm going to turn it over to my great friend and colleague, Jessica Shaheen, and she's going to get into some more of the details about how to operate our online platform and the great agenda they have lined up this week. Thank you, Jessica, for being here today in spite of being a University of Texas graduate.
Oh, that was a good one, Brandon. Nicely done. I was right, wasn't I? You can tell his commitment and his passion. What is really interesting is he made it through that speech without tearing up, because I have to tell you, the stories that he hears inspire him. And he, in turn, inspires us by sharing those stories. So thank you, Brandon, for your passion, for your leadership, in meeting our families where they are and helping them to move forward.
It's a new skill, being able to get through the stories without tearing up. We all get there.
The reality is that SNAP ENT is not a new program. It was written into law in 1985 and has evolved slowly over time. It was once very small, limited to able-bodied adults without dependents, and largely used by states to help SNAP participants meet their work requirements. But over the years, the program has evolved, and today, SNAP ENT is booming. States across the country are adding new partners, improving the quality of their services, and finding new ways to increase their participation. The very concept of a national conference would not have been possible even 5 years ago. Yet look at where we are today. Employment and training is a critical part of SNAP, not an afterthought. You're right about that, Brandon. And an important part of the workforce system. I want to thank my dedicated staff and the USDA leadership. Folks, not only know about the program because of them, but they also know how valuable it is to states, providers, and most importantly, SNAP participants, as these programs connect SNAP participants to the life-transforming power of work. SNAP ENT's flexibility and potential for unlimited growth makes it unique among workforce development programs. The unique flexibility of SNAP ENT was particularly evident this year. Brandon talked about it, as the country and the world faced a public health crisis that upended all of our lives. FNS and SNAP state agencies responded to the immediate need and got to work, finding new ways to provide job training and supportive services in an environment that could no longer rely on the face-to-face interaction that is the cornerstone of ENT. I want to take this opportunity to thank you, state SNAP agency staff, your leadership, your partners, for meeting this moment with incredible fortitude and determination. You recognize that ENT was more important than ever. So do we. We know that this challenge is not over, and we commit to you that we will keep providing you the timely support and assistance that you need to move more SNAP participants forward. Over the next 3 days, we will join together to share and learn about your experiences and lessons learned about how to operate effective ENT programs, but we're also going to get back to the basics. For example, we have a session on the SNAP Notices Improvement Project, one that I am very excited about, which highlights FNS's work with states to make the required SNAP notices clearer, more consistent, more actionable. We also will feature sessions on effective partnerships and work with employers to make sure that your ENT program is aligned with the local labor market. We know that the SNAP ENT population is as diverse as the SNAP population itself. So there will be sessions throughout the conference about how to design human-centered programs to meet the unique populations that SNAP ENT can serve. Now, I'd like to turn it over to our executives in the 7 FNS regional offices. These folks are not strangers to most of you. They have put together a pre-recorded message of support to the state SNAP agencies and all of the partners that they work with across the regions. Like me, the regional administrators are enthusiastic about SNAP ENT and celebrating the unique attributes of the ENT programs in their region. So let's hear from your regional administrators.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Kennedy, the Regional Administrator for the USDA Food and Nutrition Service in the Mountain Plains Regional Office in Denver, Colorado. I want to share with you an employment and training story with you that inspires me. It sustains me because it shows the incredible power of believing in people, one person at a time. It is the story of moving a family forward, farther forward than they ever dreamed because someone cared. This one happened in a rural town in Wyoming, but this transformation is possible in big cities, small towns, or anywhere in between. It starts with the collaboration that FNS joys in my region with Climb Wyoming. The people at Climb recognized 30 years ago that single moms and their children experience the highest rates of poverty among families in Wyoming. The women they serve are in crisis mode. They are often unemployed or working low-wage jobs with no financial stability. Every day they deal with stress and struggle to cover simple needs like food and housing. Providing the basics in life consumes them. There is little, if any, thought given to bettering themselves. I want to share a story with you about Emily. A few years ago, Emily was in a really tough spot. She could not hold a job, and she was deep in debt. She was pregnant and had dropped out of college. She was living in a one-bedroom apartment. When Emily's daughter was born, she was cleaning houses, making about $600 a month. She barely covered the cost of diapers and her subsidized rent. Climb, Wyoming was Emily's lifeline. She learned about early childhood development, budgeting, relationships, setting boundaries, and so much more. Emily received support from Climb that she had never experienced in her young life. With encouragement, knowledge, and confidence, Emily and her daughter made big strides. Through Climb, they landed a job that she kept for several years. Her boss was even willing to change the entire structure of his practice to help support her going back to school. Emily graduated 4 years ago with a bachelor's degree in accounting. The outlook now for Emily and her daughter is incredible. Today, Emily is strong, confident, and grateful. She reaches out to others with her story to give hope, just as Climb, Wyoming did for her. The days of choosing between diapers and gas to get to work are gone for Emily. Her story is the classic story. Give a young lady a fish and she eats for a day. Teach her to fish and she eats for a lifetime. Last fall, Emily gifted FNS by sharing her story in person at the Mountain Plains regional office in Denver. 100 FNS employees sat stunned as they learned how far Emily had traveled in life. I sat there awed by her transformation and grace. Friends from Climb, Wyoming sat next to her as she shared her tremendous story. Years after offering a guiding hand, Climb still backs her and believes in her. This one story just needed people who decided that rather than letting their neighbors fall behind, they would make a difference. We are those people at the Food and Nutrition Service. So are the saints at Climb, Wyoming are those people. Emily's former boss who gave her a chance is one of those people. And all of us here working together in employment and training are those people. Our SNAP ENT clients, there's so many more Emilys out there just waiting for us to believe in them. They're looking for a life changer like employment and training to set them on a path to confidence and self-reliance. They're looking for a way to move their families forward. Employment and training is the power and the promise that so many need. Emily inspires me, and she shows me the incredible future possible for the person, the community, and the nation. I am moved by Emily's grit and deeply proud of where she has taken herself. And all of us are blessed to have employment and training partners like yourselves in Climb, Wyoming. Joining together, we make a world of difference for so many who just need help finding their own way to shine.
Hi, my name is Willie Taylor, Regional Administrator with USDA Food and Nutrition Services, Southeast Regional Office. And yes, I'm very excited. I want to share that excitement with everyone regarding the state of Tennessee's Skill Up ENT initiative. First, let me share that Tennessee operates a voluntary ENT statewide program for ABODs that services all 95 counties in Tennessee. Tennessee utilizes an intermediary approach for program implementation. Currently, they have 18 partners working in this space. Now, let me focus on the excitement of Tennessee Skill Up, administered by the University of Tennessee's Extension Services. The University of Tennessee Extension Services utilizes county-based extension agents throughout the state to work within communities to reach SNAP participants who are interested in finding and keeping jobs that match their abilities and gifts. Each SNAP participant is assisted by a career navigator. The navigator provides individual, customized guidance for each participant by way of classes and training offerings that prepares them to obtain their employment goals. So I will share the 4 important takeaways from this. 1, the Tennessee Skill Up initiative, it is mission-based to support families and individuals moving towards self-sufficiency. Secondly, it employs the no wrong door approach. Thirdly, the extension agents collaborate with the extensive network of community-based organizations throughout the state. And fourth, it has carved out a niche with the Department of Labor at the state and federal level to ensure that its clients and participants have access to resources found at the American Job Center. In closing, this approach demonstrates that Tennessee has a renewed focus on expanding partnerships through innovative concepts that support catalytic efforts of moving individuals along the spectrum of self-sufficiency. Lastly, and I'll share very confidently, that this work supports USDA's efforts to move families forward. This is why I'm excited about the Tennessee Skill Up ENT initiative.
Hi, I'm Pat Dombrowski, Regional Administrator for the USDA Food and Nutrition Service Mid-Atlantic Regional Office. And I would like to share a little about how work in the Mid-Atlantic region around SNAP ENT has changed in the last 5 years. I'd say the short answer to that is employment and training in the Mid-Atlantic region has grown and matured significantly over the last 5 years. About 6 years ago, I, along with Eric Radford, our regional SNAP director, were engaging state leadership in discussions around the value of the ENT program. But our limited regional staff resources were primarily focused on compliance, plan approval, and management evaluations. And while our state agency leadership was open to our discussions, at the state program level, ENT was not necessarily seen as a high priority at that time. But then 5 years ago, we hired Derek Dauphin, our regional ENT analyst. And coming from the Department of Labor, Derek hit the ground running. He focused on building awareness of SNAP ENT, going on the road to provide technical assistance that ensured our states and potential third-party providers had an understanding of the program and the potential ENT has to move SNAP recipients off of SNAP, as we say, the right way, into careers that pay family-sustaining wages. We also assigned additional SNAP resources to support Derek's efforts, focusing on the policy and guidance needed by our partners. As we were building awareness around SNAP ENT, regional staff and state partners worked diligently to enhance and expand ENT services throughout the region by identifying organizations that could serve as third-party providers and brokering partnerships between those organizations and our state agency partners. And I'm pleased to note we have seen the total number of Marrow SNAP ENT third-party providers double from 51 in fiscal year 17 to 106 for the upcoming fiscal year 21. In addition to enhancing and expanding ENT services throughout the region, we continue to engage state leadership, obtaining their commitment to set participation rate goals and increase resources devoted to SNAP employment and training. Our state partners have stepped up and are focused on increasing the number of work registrants that participate in the program. Over half of Marrow states have increased staff resources devoted to ENT and have robust strategies in place to meet their goals. I would like to give a shout out particularly to Pennsylvania for truly moving the needle on leadership engagement, building an ENT team, and adding awesome partners. So in summary, biggest change since 5 years ago, SNAP ENT is fully ingrained into our regional operations. And we, regional and state staff, despite current circumstances, continue to emphasize the importance of providing services that will move people towards self-sufficiency, partnering with quality ENT providers, and increasing the number of SNAP recipients who participate in the SNAP ENT program.
I'm Jesus Mendoza, Regional Administrator for the USDA Food and Nutrition Service Western Regional Office in San Francisco, California. I'm here to share some of the new partnerships that we are excited about, look forward to work with, and expand to move ENT participants forward. We are happy to announce that Alaska is bringing 2 new partners, including a Covenant House. We are also excited because one of the partners is in Matsu, the state's first partner outside of Anchorage. This provides an opportunity to deliver and expand services to rural areas in Alaska. We are also excited about Nevada expanded their community college partnerships. Nevada is bringing on their second community college. Nevada has been doing a great deal of work to build their community college partnerships, and both the state and Western region have high hopes of additional colleges and community-based organization programs and partnerships that will be developed in fiscal year 21 and after. Closer to home, California recently signed a new statewide contract with CELED, which will make virtual training services accessible to ENT participants throughout the state. This new partnership responds to both the current reality due to the pandemic and also a broader and long-term need to both build digital literacy and overcome training access issues among ENT participants throughout the state. It is innovation at its best. The Western region worked closely with all states in the region to ensure that the new services and service strategies are consistently being developed and shared among each other and other regions. Please enjoy the conference, and I hope the information and ideas you hear this week make you excited to go back to your state or organization and help ENT participants move forward.
Hi, my name's Bill Ludwig. I'm the Regional Administrator in Dallas, Texas, in the Southwest region. Today, I want to share with you a story of hope and a story of providing a second chance to young individuals that somewhere along in their life may have made a mistake. 5 years ago, the state of Louisiana had one small mandatory employment and training program in one very rural, very small parish. At that time, I had the opportunity to meet with the secretary there in Louisiana, Secretary Walters. She and I took a trip to New Orleans, and I showed her a facility in New Orleans called Liberty's Kitchen. Liberty's Kitchen is an employment and training facility for young youth, somewhere between the ages of 17 and 24, that have dropped out of school and is struggling in life. The secretary loved the program. She went back, she met with the governor. The governor got excited about the program. I explained to them how we could expand it all across Louisiana. And the secretary liked to calls it a second chance program. I call it a hope program. Today, Louisiana is doing great. They have over 18 providers of employment and training across the state. But the biggest thing that they have is they've incorporated the community college system in Louisiana. So now SNAP recipients that want to go through the employment and training system can actually go to college. It's a program of hope and a program of a second chance. Like the secretary says, so many young people in Louisiana have dropped out of school. They've made some type of mistake in their life. They've gotten in drugs. They didn't finish their education. They're on the SNAP program. They're not going anywhere. They have an opportunity to go into the employment and training program in Louisiana and go to college. Is that not an opportunity for a young person that's made a mistake somewhere in their life? The results are even better. As of today, 75% of the young people and the individuals that go through Louisiana's employment and training program actually get employed. Now, we're just starting to track those numbers, but the numbers look extremely well in Louisiana. But the even better news is the average starting salary for an individual going through the employment and training program is over $15 an hour, which is twice the minimum wage in Louisiana. It's been a success all around. We couldn't have done it without the leadership of the governor and the secretary. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kurt Mesner, the Regional Administrator for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Food and Nutrition Service in the Northeast Regional Office in Boston, Massachusetts. How would I describe the SNAP END program? Well, it would be challenging for me to describe it in just one word. When I think about SNAP employment and training, I think about how the program helps people and their families, the impact of becoming self-sufficient economically, the impact on families of having more choices and opportunities to do things that they want to do, the impact and effect that it has on self-esteem, on confidence, on the quality of their lives. If I had to choose just one word that could capture any of this, I would choose the word hope. I think SNAP Employment and Training inspires hope in people to be more self-sufficient, make better choices, and have the opportunity to improve the quality of their lives. Our SNAP programs inspire hope.
Hello, my name is Trish Solis. I'm the Acting Regional Administrator for the Midwest region of the USDA Food and Nutrition Service. I'm excited today to address the inspiration and steps state SNAP agencies have taken to continue to support SNAP ENT amid the challenges of the past year. Our states and their providers have done some incredible things in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm truly impressed with how they have pivoted to address challenges as a result of the pandemic and continue to keep a focus on SNAP ENT. Some of the most inspiring stories come from providers helping clients who have little to no digital skills or experience with distance learning. Since the response to COVID began, the Midwest Region Food and Nutrition Service organized a series of webinars for partners to share information regarding how they train clients to participate in a virtual manner. Changes were implemented and the information was shared during the webinars for all to take advantage of the new approaches. Sometimes difficult, our providers taught their clients how to use tablets and laptops, how to use video meeting software, and other distance learning tools. The state agencies provided guidance and funding to allow the providers to purchase equipment for the transition to digital learning. They supported providers who, in effect, reinvented themselves from this strange new normal. I'm excited to share a few more specific activities from Midwest Region state agencies and providers. In Wisconsin, providers are using distance and hybrid learning to place clients into jobs in construction, manufacturing, healthcare, IT, and other areas. Ohio has finalized 3 contracts with 3 community colleges during the pandemic and will soon complete contracts with 2 more colleges. Providers in Cuyahoga and Hamilton counties continue providing services, including the resumption of hands-on training under social distancing. In Illinois, just 2 days before the governor issued the stay-at-home order, the Illinois Department of Human Services launched their partnership with National Able as the intermediary and the Chicagoland Workforce Funder Alliance as the funder providing the 50% non-federal match. This partnership added 3 new providers in July, demonstrating the advantages and flexibility of using intermediaries. During the challenges of this past year, Minnesota also managed to add new providers and increase engagement with SNAP ENT participants. By building flexibility into their program, Minnesota was able to pivot and nimbly adapt to challenges. Michigan has encouraged the Michigan Works agencies to not just continue ENT, but to add more providers by adding the Southeast Michigan Community Alliance to serve over 1 million suburban Wayne County residents. Starting in fiscal year 21, they will identify and hire providers. The state has allocated $100,000 from SNAP ENT 100% funds as seed money for these providers. This is another example of a best practice that helps new providers get rolling immediately. So even in the current environment, ENT providers have made changes to address challenges. These are just a few examples of the many steps states and providers have taken to continue to support SNAP ENT, even amid the current challenges. I encourage you to reach out to any of these states during the forum this week if you are interested in gaining additional information. Today, distance learning and hybrid training with social distancing, something not previously in our ENT programs, have quickly become the norm in SNAP ENT.
Did anyone else have any sort of additional comments or little sound bites that you'd like to squeeze in? This would be the opportunity to do that.
I think it's just so impressive how all of our state agencies came together with all of the ENT providers to really be creative and still keep the focus during these trying times, to keep the focus on helping individuals and help them get placed. It really is a three-way partnership. The state agencies are amazing to help us facilitate, the providers and the employers all working together to really make a better future for our clients.
And I would say, I think the participation in this forum is really a statement of the interest and commitment and desire to really continue to expand ENT opportunities, both providers joining as well as additional SNAP participants being able to take advantage and obtain the hope that has been talked about.
And I'm always impressed by the level of commitment and dedication, not only with our staff, but with the states and with the providers. When you're out visiting sites and you're meeting with participants and providers, you can feel the passion in the air. People are really excited and happy about what they're doing and what the outcomes are.
I would share that I hope that as an attending, that you find something here that you can take away and share back in your respective community and replicate. So I think what you hear from all 7 regions is that there are opportunities abound. We look forward to having your engagement with us at the state level as our partners. Again, most important piece here is how can we help move individuals along self-sufficiency spectrum.
One of the things that always amazes me is the innovation and creativity at all levels, especially from our state agents and partners, on how to assist participants and continue their programs going, even under very challenging circumstances. This forum is an opportunity to continue that communication, to share ideas, innovation, so that we all can take it, even at the Food and Nutrition Service, to grasp some of the ideas that you all doing, implementing, and sharing with each other so that we can continue to strengthen the employment and training program.
Hi, my name is Moira Johnston. I'm the director of the Office of Employment and Training for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program at USDA's Food and Nutrition Service. The Office of Employment and Training, or OET as we call ourselves, provides oversight and policy guidance for the SNAP ENT program at the national level. We work in partnership with the 7 FNS regional offices to provide national policy guidance and technical assistance to state SNAP ENT programs. FNS has worked to put SNAP ENT front and center as part of the agency's mission. We've dramatically expanded our capacity to provide technical assistance and resources that help states build better programs that serve more SNAP participants each year. Together with our state partners, we've streamlined the everyday operation of ENT programs, expanded SNAP ENT national partnerships, and brought new attention to effective best practices. This very conference is an embodiment of our mission and vision, which is that high-quality ENT opportunities should be available to any SNAP participant striving to make a better life for themselves and their families. This conference has been the result of hard work of staff and leadership across FNS. But I want to take a moment to thank 2 members of my staff without whom this conference would not have been possible. Marcy Foster and Rachel Gregg have led all aspects of the development, planning, and execution of this event, including making critical changes to the format in response to the public health emergency earlier this year. We've also been very fortunate to work with LRG, our meeting planning team, who's been instrumental in helping us navigate this new world of virtual meetings. I'd also like to thank our SNAP ENT National Forum Advisory Board. The SNAP ENT National Forum Advisory Board is an esteemed group of SNAP ENT partners who provided feedback and guidance on the program and content of the National Forum. Advisory Board members reflect the diversity of SNAP ENT stakeholders across the country and brought critical perspectives to the event's program. You can read more about this group by clicking the Advisory Board tab in the virtual platform. Your conference experience will take place entirely in this virtual platform that's been customized for our event. It has all that you need to participate in this interactive virtual event. But let me take a moment to explain some of the key features that you'll need to be aware of. First, please be sure to create your profile under the My Network tab. From there, you can edit your biography and your e-business card, which will enable you to participate in any networking features during the event. Under this tab, you can also connect with other participants and monitor the chats that you are participating in during the conference. One of the most unique features of our virtual platform is the ability for you to participate in social media activity directly through the platform. When you use the hashtag USDA Snap2Work to share your experiences or takeaways from the event, your message and those from others will appear on the in-platform social media feed. We encourage you to use your social media to engage not just with fellow attendees, but to spread the message you hear at the National Snap ENT National Forum across the country to your colleagues and friends. During the breaks or after the conference, please also check out the videos and materials on our resource tab. Right now, you'll find 3 SNAP ENT policy videos to refresh your understanding of the basics of SNAP ENT funding and data reporting. I've also recorded my own video that provides an update on what we've been doing to support SNAP ENT here at the national office. Last but definitely not least, we want to see your faces. On the Photo Gallery tab, you can take and post photos of yourself as you participate in the National Forum. Share with us a unique viewpoint, whether you're zooming in from your kitchen table, at the office, or at the beach. COVID-19 has changed the way we're coming to you this year, but we're adapting to those changes just as you are. But if you have any technical difficulties, please use the help desk feature in the virtual platform. We're fully staffed to answer any questions you may have. The next session will start at 1 o'clock. So take a break and jump back on so you don't miss it. An interagency panel with exciting information and news about a critical joint partnership between USDA, the U.S. Department of Health and Services, and the U.S. Department of Labor. But before that, our FNS administrator, Pam Miller, will close out this opening session by sharing a few thoughts on her recent visit to an ENT provider in Annapolis, Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us today, and please stay with us for the rest of the afternoon.
One thing I've noticed about successful ENT programs is that they meet participants where they are and serve the whole person, inspiring hope in folks so they can move forward and overcome hurdles. We know, for example, that homelessness is a vicious cycle. Programs that serve this population can help break that cycle, allowing them to move into employment opportunities and on a path towards an independent future. The Lighthouse in Annapolis, Maryland is a SNAP ENT provider that focuses on helping people in their community move out of homelessness. They provide meal services, a food pantry, housing support, a career clothes closet, and workforce training and development. Its Building Employment Success Training, or BEST program, includes a culinary skills program where students learn all aspects of food preparation, nutrition, and catering. Participants work at the Lighthouse Bistro in downtown Annapolis, a social enterprise business where they can continue learning and building their culinary expertise. When I visited the bistro, and the food's wonderful by the way, Chef Linda Vogler, the BEST program executive training chef, told us how much it meant to her to witness her students' success. And those students in turn pay it forward. BEST veterans act as mentors to current students and recent graduates. As one student explained, it's easy for me to give back because of what was given to me. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. USDA is dedicated to expanding ENT and replicating programs like the Lighthouse across the country so that more of the people we serve have the opportunity to move forward. As the U.S. economy continues to reopen, now is the time to reorient our programs to invest in people and stand beside them with the tools necessary to overcome barriers and inspire hope.